asked her could I hit, there was nothing she could say.
I would never
and then my Mary solitary confined. I find myself dealing with time, now that she's dealing with time. Dealing with time.
Dealing with time. Just dealing with time. Stay on my mind.
While you burning up, I feel the breeze up the freeway.
Ooh, Mary, baby, I
asked her could I hit, there was nothing she could say.
Trust me, boo, I would never.
Now my Mary solitary confined. I find myself dealing with time, now that she's dealing with time. Dealing with time.
Yo. Now I'm in love with this girl, and I never really told her, but I swear she know it, cause of the way that I hold her. Don't care that I'm out in the street, stuck in the heat, cause she know the more I eat, then the more we meet, then the more I'm having sex with her. It's just the way she smells, her body aroma, I gotta be next to her. The money in my pocket.
Welcome back to the show. As everybody knows, this month is Black History Month. Do me a favor, man, Stewies. Take a second out of your day to look up the Orangeburg Massacre. It occurred 49 years ago today in Orangeburg, South Carolina, where 3 South Carolina State students were killed protesting not being able to attend a movie theater, the Orangeburg movie theater, by the police. And it was obviously a big scandal. And so at the university, we remember the 3 young men that were killed on that day. It's a lot more behind the story. But do me a favor, man, and get a little bit of knowledge and look up the Orangeburg Massacre. This is the Doug Stewart Show, 404-382-0338. You can also email me at doug@thedougstewartshow.com. I want to read a lot of the chat messages, man. Falcons defensive coordinator Richard Smith will not continue in that role following Atlanta's historic collapse in Super Bowl LI. The Sporting News is reporting. The website citing sources reported late Tuesday that Smith could be moved to another staff position, although it did not have details. That's another thing that I don't understand about the NFL and their hiring practices. And a lot of that type of stuff happens. I mentioned yesterday how, Raheem Morris, made his reputation by being a defensive coordinator. And they got him coaching the wide receivers. And then this type of thing happens a lot as well. And this clearly to me is a political type thing where they like Richard Smith. They don't want him to go without getting a paycheck. So we don't think, for whatever reason that may be, and then maybe it is because they had the big collapse in the second half. But once again, I would say that was an aberration. They played phenomenally defensively in the first half of the game. They had been playing great over the last 6 or 7 weeks of the season. Yeah, they fell apart in the second half. Everything went wrong in the second half of the Super Bowl. Yeah. I wouldn't necessarily say it's Richard Smith's part or issue that he was the problem. So this is one of those situations. I mean, the NFL got a lot of little quirks to it, man, and I guess all sports do to some degree. But they're saying that you're not going to be the defensive coordinator. You're taking, it has to be some type of demotion, and we expect you to keep your job, get this demotion, but we also want you to walk around the building, the facility, with a smile on your face. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that. People have egos. People have egos, and I'm sure Richard Smith, and this is all just barbershop talk, man. We all just speculating. Let's just keep it real about that. We're speculating here. It's got, maybe there is more to the story and why they're making these moves so quickly. But you did fantastic in most people's eyes that I talked to in Atlanta. And you just watch the games, They started out very slow. They had this young defense. Midway through the season, they started playing better. Each week that passed after week like 8, they played better defensively every week to the point where they had at halftime a shutout against the Green Bay Packers, dominated the Green Bay Packers and Aaron Rodgers. And in this game, the Super Bowl, defensively they played great as well. They score another time in the third quarter, and they're up 28-3. The defense sounds like they're doing the job. It doesn't sound like the defense is a problem. So you tell this guy that's made and done all these great things for the defense 3 days after the game that, we're going to give somebody else your job being the defensive coordinator, but we want you to stick around. Instead of being the defensive coordinator, you can do some of the mopping. You can do some of the sweeping around here. You can wipe down some of the cabinets. What? Yeah, and he's supposed to smile about that. I mean, he got a job. He got a job, money coming in. It should be all good. It should be gravy, right? Evidently, that's what the Falcons are thinking. Nah, it don't work like that. It don't work like that. So this is very, very interesting to me, puzzling to me, man, that they are making all these moves so quickly. Let me read a couple of your messages in the chat room on Spreaker.com. No. Perfect that we have on D. Orlando Ledbetter today to give us maybe some enlightenment on this and all of these moves that they're making. From Sidney Jackson in the chat room on Spreaker.com, he says the Falcons are still too shook from that horrible, historic, epic loss. They should take some time and let the wound close a bit before making all these bad decisions. Once again, for the record, disclaimer, all of these decisions may be perfect. They may all work out. But, I mean, it's we're hoping for that, I guess. It's just strange. Like, Sidney Jackson makes a good point. The Super Bowl happened 3 days ago, not even 3 days, 2.5 days ago. Sit back and chill for a second. You don't want to make, when something like that happens in your life, I'm talking from a personal standpoint. When something tragic happens in your life, you don't want to act on emotion. I've always been told that, like, when something good or bad happens, you don't want to act on emotion and make a rash decision that you're going to regret later. Take your time, breathe for a second, and then make a decision. Like, what's the rush? Like, what's the rush? 2 days after they get, this traumatic loss, they take this traumatic loss, they're making all of these moves. 2 days. You would think it's the off season. Ain't no rush. You're not going to start worrying about football in a serious aspect till August, okay? This is February till August. Sit back for a couple of days. Sit back for a week. I don't think if you didn't give the job to Steve Sarkisian yesterday that he would have, gone somewhere else. I don't think that if you would have waited a couple of days to sit around and think about, whether you want to give Richard Smith this his pink slip or not, that something would have happened, he would have jumped to another team. I don't know. It just seems like it's very fast. From the 47 problem, why they hired Shark is a huge question to me. But then again, I was upset at Kyle Shanahan at first, which is a good point. I have to keep saying this, and I know it sounds like I'm hedging my bet, and you're listening to the Doug Stewart Show. Right. Everybody in Atlanta was mad as hell at Kyle Shanahan 2 years ago. Right. And a lot of people were actually calling for his head the way that the Falcons fell apart the second half of the season. He's just like his daddy. He didn't do nothing in Washington. He didn't do nothing in Cleveland. Why the hell did we even give him this opportunity? The Falcons stuck with him, and the rest is history. He was phenomenal last year. So that's true. You kind of got to temper all of your thoughts, to realizing and understanding that this is what they do for a living. We're sports fans. This is what we do. We talk about sports. We talk about our teams. We don't do this every day, all day. We don't. So a lot of it's, Monday morning quarterbacking and all of that stuff. I understand that. But it just gives you pause. Let me grab a call. Caller, thanks for calling the Doug Stewart Show. What's your name? Where you calling from? What you want to talk about?
Beautiful morning. This is Grego. How are you?
Grego, good morning, man. Hold on, Grego. Hold on a second. Let me reach you here in my glove compartment for a second. Hold on.
Oh, okay. All right,
go ahead, man.
Make sure I see your hands. The thing that I wanted to say is I'm pretty sure what happened was Dimitrov probably called up Belichick and they had a conversation. And Belichick told him, I told you to get rid of Julio. You didn't listen. Those guys were terrible for you. The reason being is because they were beating the hell out of Brady and the running backs, and Dimitrov probably fell for the okey-doke this time, man. What do you think?
Grego, know what I think? Can you do me a favor, man?
Hold on a second. Let me turn around.
All right, thank you. Turn your ass around, Grego. Thank you. I really appreciate it. That was very courteous of you just to turn your ass around voluntarily. If you're new to the show, man, Grego is the resident Patriot fan. That's what he is. So he's a goddamn jokester. He's a jokester. From Gilliard Rose finds Doug, what's up with these callers with them jacked up phones? I don't know, man. It might even be something on our end. We got to work on that. We keep saying we're going to work on that here in the studio. I'm looking at Waterhead right now. He's like, man, we trying. It might even be our issue. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure. From Andre Elam, Grego is under water talking on the phone. From Corporate Brother, please stop telling people to call in until we can get the phone lines fixed. And maybe it is our issue on this end because I can't believe that every caller is having this issue, which we definitely need to take a look at in the breaks today, Waterhead, so we can try to get it fixed or taken care of before we get on D. Orlando Ledbetter. From Warren Williams, run the ball, Kyle. Run the effing ball. Kyle gets zero credit. Talking about the series where all they had to do is just run the ball, and chances are they would have got a field goal, and it would have been out of reach for New England to have this miraculous comeback. Yeah. From this Mocha Bell X squad, Brian H., we made the playoffs this year, so there. Too bad no parade down Peachtree Street. Rise up, ATL ho. That's not nice. That's not nice, Mocha. From Griff, Lord have mercy. Let me look at Griff's profile pic. Good Lord. I do love me some mammary glands. Hey, Griff, who was that? Who is that? Griff says, matter of fact, Griff didn't really even say nothing. I just wanted to look at his darn profile pic. If you're new to the show, we ask that the Stewies change their profile pics in the chat room, which you have the ability to do, to beautiful women. So we ask that you do that. And Griff has really come through today. Thank you, Griff. From the 4-7 Problem, he says, I'm still hurt. I can't imagine how the players and coaches feel. They should relax a moment before making these decisions. That's what I was saying. I agree. It's panic. And you got, once again, this is February. You got March, April, May, June, July. You got 6 months before you even start training camp. You got 6 months before you even start training camp. You know, the emotions are strong right now. I get it, man. Sit back and breathe for a second. Just sit back and chill for half of a second. That's all I'm saying. And that's not the case. They're not doing that. I mean, they're going balls to the wall, changes across the board. This Richard Smith guy is out. Brian Cox is out. I don't think the defense is the problem. I think the defense had a bad quarter and a half. That's it. But in relative terms to the last 9-10 weeks, the defense played great. 9-10 weeks, they played